Right, well you all know where this is going. Another day means another review, and another review means another new loco to have a look at. Haha. So you had to do that at some point, didn't I? And today's locomotive we're having a look at is, well, you all know what it's made by because you can see the logo in the top of the corner of the box there. And it's made by Hornby. And it's the Class 31. Oh yeah. Nicknamed the Goyles because of the headboard on the top of the roof there. They were also known as the Brush Type 2s. That was before the top system came in. But they didn't classify them Class 31s to start with. They actually gave them the number Class 30s. But then they came back and gave them the number Class 31s. And they were also built by Brush as well. See, that's a good make, isn't it? And this Class 31 is in the Civil Engineers livery, or better known to most of you as the Dutch livery. And there were a few liveries that I were considering between Rail Freight Grey and this one. And I went for this one, and I'm really glad I did, because it's a common livery that I saw on a common loco. Well, back in my young years, or young days, whatever you want to call it. And so those two together, epic win. And this Class 31 has been bought to replace a Lima Class 31. You know, you've seen the farewell video of 31116 in infrastructure livery. That is being replaced by one of Hornby's more detailed, stronger, powerful and, in my opinion, more reliable Class 31s. And, plus, these locos don't have traction tyres on the wheels, unlike Lima's, which, to be fair, are somewhat pointless, because even with traction tyres they still cannot pull a long train. This is also going to be my most desired Class 31 as well. But I'm not going to tell you why until later in the vid. Now, I do already have one of these in the BR Green livery, which is number D5510. But I'm not going to get it out for you to have a look at because you've seen it in the 31116 farewell video and you've seen the review I've done. So, you know, because there's no point in me getting it out just so I can show you, basically. But anyway, let's get this open and see what it's like. So we'll take off the box sleeve. As you can see, I've still left the price tag on, which it did cost £68 from S&J Models. And, well, that's an absolute bargain, to be honest, considering it's only ever had a test run. But anyway, so on the box sleeve you get a picture of the locomotive, well, a picture of the side of the locomotive, should I say, on the side of the box. And on the top of the box, you get a photo on the roof of the model, which is interesting. Then on the back, you get the brief history. Now, I've already gone to a little bit of the history lesson on the Class 31 already, but the only ones that you're going to see running nowadays on the network are by DCR and Network Rail, but they aren't as common as they were in the old days, basically, which is a shame. You know, you have to have a lucky day to even see a Class 31 now. But anyway, there's also a photo of a locomotive in this livery. I don't know where that is, but in the background there you can just make out there's another Class 31 there. And it also looks like that it's been taken in black and white, but that could be the age of the photograph, I don't know. And this Class 31 apparently is numbered 31110. Wait, 31110, that rings a bell. In fact, I've seen that loco when I was little at Bescott. Wow. That is just absolutely ace. Sadly, to a big disappointment, she no longer exists. She was scrapped. Why? She's not been preserved and she's still not in service. Well, if she was still in service, she would have been painted in Network Rail yellow, at least with the case of Network Rail. And Devon and Cornwall Railways, it would have been painted in green. Although the green is acceptable, but Network Rail's yellows, I don't know. But then again, it's hard to say with Devon and Cornwall Railways, because, well, 31190, they have left the BR Green livery still on. There's also the Intercity livery Class 31 they have, which is now at Barrow Hill for coach heating services, which is somewhat different. But, you know, if it was still in service with Devon and Cornwall Railways, maybe they'd have left this livery on, I don't know. But it's such a shame that she wasn't preserved or bought by one of those two companies. But anyway, so the box sleeve goes to one side, and then we open up the box, and yeah, that's the sight we like to see. This is the box that splits in two. In fact, this is the third review I've done on the run where a locomotive has had the box that splits in two. That must be a new record or something. But anyway, so we'll put the standard box to one side, as well as the card insert, which is boring because there's nothing on it apart from the information on the side there and the barcode for when you buy it. But anyway, what's this? Well, that's something different. An empty bag. Don't know what that's doing in there, but still. Oh, hang on. Yeah, it was for the DCC jacket, which is pointless, basically. So if we just whack it all back in there, we can now look at the instructions for the Class 31. As you can see, there's nothing new in it, although in the instructions it shows you where to put the headcode discs, but this locomotive doesn't have them. So, you know, that is interesting, but still. But it's all there anyway. Okay, so now we'll get the packaging open. Just bring it into shot. So we'll get these plastic bands off. You see me do this before, a lot of times. Oh, train on. Thank you, driver. And before we take the plastic window off, we'll have a look at the detailing pack. Which has not been opened. Well, supposed to have. But what you get in there is just the couplings, which is different. But anyway, then we take the window off, and then we take the roof off the box off, like that. And then we take the locomotive out, because as you can see, it rests on these plastic clips. So you don't get the transit brackets, but you do get these. But these are still reliable, they still do the job. And then we take off this pointless, as I've said before, tissue paper. I mean, I don't know why they are still feeling the need to even use this stuff. Because, you know, let's be honest, look at that. That is not neat, that is shredded up, it's been torn. You know, what's wrong with using plastic wrappers? But anyway, I'm sure they'll get rid of it at some point, but I can't really say for now. So now we'll have a look at the loco itself. Well, I have got such a huge grin on my face. I know what you're thinking, it's hard to believe, but trust me, I have. Basically because I am holding a piece of the past that I saw when I was little in the 90s. And this is just absolutely wonderful. I'm telling you, this locomotive is going to have some pride on my layout, obviously, but anyway. So you can see for a start that the detailing on the buffer beam has already been added on, which, you know, is really good because it saves me doing it later on. We do have, yes, sprung metal buffers, as you can see. There's also NEM sockets, but these are similar to that of V-trains because you basically slot the couplings up. They are, however, tricky to get out again, but they still do the job. The bogie detail, just look at that. Okay, it's not painted, but you know, come on. You have just seen the photo of the loco in real life, and it doesn't have painted bits on the bogies. You know, to be honest, not many locomotives in real life anyway have painted bits on the bogies. If it's a problem with you, then what's your problem, basically? Not mine. But you know, the bogies, even though they're not painted, just look at how well detailed they are. The fuel tank is really nicely detailed as well. It's also very, very heavy, and I mean very heavy. And this is why it doesn't have traction tyres, because it's got all the weight that it needs to pull a train. But then again, the weight is important, because this would be useless with no weight. There's nice metal handrails going down alongside all the doors, as you can see clearly. We also do have opening doors, look at that. But then again, what were you expecting? It's a super detailed model. There's also proper wipers on the windows, and there is painted cab detailing inside there. It's hard to see, but trust me, there is. If you can just get the camera in, you might be able to see it. What if I open the door a bit? Nah, it's not making any difference, but trust me, there is cab detailing painted in there. There's also a warning sign on the front there. Why they have to use, or why they have to carry overhead signs even though they don't use overhead is beyond me. There's also some metal handrails at the front there, and there is a few lamp points as well. Now we do get working lights, but I'm not sure what's going to light up. Because on the case with the BR Green Class 31, all the lights at the front light up white, and in reverse, it's just two lights. So I don't know what's going to light up, but we'll find out in a sec. There's also some riveting on the front as well. The livery is also spot on. Look at that. It's got the yellow at the top and the grey at the bottom. It was basically an engineering's livery. And of course you've got the black doors as well. You see, this was one of the best engineering liveries that there were. It's a shame it disappeared. Also you got a nice BR logo at the side there. And the number, wow. 31110. Gosh. There's also the tops dialogue there. There's also some riveting, if the camera will focus. There we go. As you can see, there's some riveting on the bottom as well. Wow. There's some warning signs along the side as well. And the windows, just look at that. They've put the windows on the side as well, just like they're supposed to have. And the grills, they are nicely textured. Just look at that. I suppose you could weather them if you wanted to, but I'm not going to, because I like them the way they are. And then, on the other side, it's just as detailed. Again, more grills. As you can see, more rivets and warning signs. And windows, of course. Sorry about that slight grubby mark there. Yeah, it's been taken care of. And also you got bogey detailing on the rear as well. And the detail on the other end is exactly the same. Metal handrails, lamp irons and riveting. And of course again, sprung buffers. And opening doors and metal handrails down the side. And then here you've got a shed plate, which indicates which shed it has, which is at, should I say. Oh my god, am I actually seeing things? As you can see, this shed plaque has the saddle on, and that is the shed plaque for Bescott, and it's still there today. If you look at the side of the shed now, they've still got that logo on. That has just made the grin on my face even bigger, because I saw this loco at Bescott pulling an engineering train, which we'll get to in a bit, and it was stationed at Bescott as well. That is just incredible. Wow. I don't know what to say. Just look at that, and you get it on the other side as well. Wow. And considering I live in Bescott now, well, that's even more amazing. And the roof, now the roof is definitely more superior to what you get on the Lima model. You get the exhaust here, which you could weather, I suppose, if you wanted. You also get the panels at the top there as well, and some lines that go across the top. And the grille with the fake fan underneath. Well, not the fake fan, but you know what I mean. And just look at that. The edge where it bends slightly over the top. Wow. And the etched grille there is amazing. The fan should hopefully spin. And of course you get the little headboards at the top there, as you can see. And this circle at the top. Wow. This is just incredible. I don't know what to say really. I'm speechless. And if you remember at the start of the review, I did say that this was going to be the most desired Class 31. Well, here's why. It's going to recreate a scene that I saw when I was little. How, you may ask? Well, she's going to be pulling her own rake of wagons. What rake of wagons? Well, she's going to be pulling a rake of Seco wagons. And here is one of them. This is the first one I got. The plan is to get a rake of 10 of these Secos, also in the engineer's livery. And they'll go this Class 31, and this Class 31 will be pulling them around the layout. I'm still waiting for 6 still to come in the mail. This one is pristine, but all the rest are going to be weathered. But there will be at least 2 of these in pristine, but most of them are going to be weathered. And the reason is because, well, when I saw this Class 31 at Bescott, pulling the rake of Secos, in this livery, most of them were weathered. So it looked like they'd been used. But there were a few that were clean like this. But wow. This is definitely going to have pride of place on my layout. In fact, it's going to become the pride of the diesel fleet now. Oh yeah. Or at least one of the pride of the diesel fleets. Should I say, but wow. I'm just literally jaw-dropped at this. It's hard to understand why these models have not been awarded Model of the Year. Because it's mostly Batman stuff now, and that isn't really fair. The Class 60 from Hornby has been won Model of the Year, but the Class 31, the 56 and the 50 hasn't. And I can't understand why. Just look at how well detailed that these models are. sprung buffers, NEM couplings, accurate livery, spinning fans, and opening doors, no traction tyres, very powerful and working lights. What more do you want? But anyway, we've covered what it's like in detail. Let's see what it's like in performance, which should be just as amazing. Right, well, here we are at the track, and the absolutely stunning and incredible 31. Well, there you go. She's on the tracks. And now, let's give her the beans. Well, even though the power setting isn't really that high, she's running really smoothly. There's no grinding noises or anything. And just look at the lights. There's two on the side at the front and two on the back at the rear. Also, look at this. Look at that, the fanny spinning. In fact, to get an even more closer look, I've slowed the locomotive down a bit. Because, well, let's be honest, it was going a little bit fast. And look at that. Wow, that is incredible. Just look at that fan spin. You certainly don't get that with anybody else other than Hornby. Wow. Right, so now we're going to get her coupled up to that CK wagon, the first of 10. So let's sew her down and get her out of shot. There we go. Now here's the CK wagon. In fact, we'll get the railer first. As you can see, what's this? Oh, it's a piece of ice. I've gave it a quick wipe. So there we are. Actually, there we are. Right, so back to the CK wagon. As I have said already, the first of 10. As I'm waiting for the others to arrive, and I only need to get just 3 more ordered to complete my rake of 10. So we'll have a look at the CK wagon as well. Right, so here it is in this packaging. In fact, I'm not even sure how you take it off, to be honest. Ah, yes. There you are. Oh, God, that was close. Haha. Okay, now, firstly, these are actually light. But then again, you don't want them heavy, because they're just wagons. Now, these are top of the range, super detail Seco wagons. I mean, for starters, you get NEM couplings on the model. Hornby, well, that's the wrong one for a start. The manufacturer's name, Hornby, is crisply printed on the bottom. And also, look at this. Sprung buffers. They're only tightly sprung, but they are sprung. Also, the livery is accurately applied. And there's the name Seco at the top. And here's the chute where the ballast comes out of, which is painted really nice. Nice metal wheels and nice turning easily bogies. The inside of the hopper wagon, as they are technically in a way, is detailed so nice. In fact, you can get imitation ballast loads for these, which might be something to look at in the future. And there's even warning signs on wagons. Now I've seen it. It's a bit ridiculous really with health and safety these days. And there is some riveting that goes along the wagon. And just look at all the detailing, the turning wheels that basically gets the ballast out. This part here. Wow. See, it's all very fragile. Just look at it. Hornby have captured the Seco in such epic detail. Wow. And even the floor has a nice texture feel to it. And just look at that bit there. You can actually see through the little holes there. You can actually see the wheels just. Wow. And you've got the steps as well. And even the little axle boxes are painted. They are painted red. Well, what look like red to me, because I am colourblind. I get mixed up with red and brown, orange and green, but I'm assuming it's red. But wow. So that's basically about it for the wagon. That was kind of like a wagon review, wasn't it, really, if you think about it. But yeah, wow. Just look at it. And even the sides, the handrails, it's all there. But anyway, let's get this on the tracks with the help of the railer. Oh, it's derailed. We'll edit that out. Oh, it's derailed again. Yeah, it wasn't positioned on the track right, that's why. Silly me. Well, the railer doesn't actually want to work today. Yeah, there we go. Right. Let's back it up. Oh wait, I forgot. There's no coupling in the loco. Fail. Right, so we'll drive that out a shot and I'll just get a coupling in the loco and I'll be back. Right, well I've now put a coupling on the loco. And we'll back her up gently, look at that. In fact, let's get her to go back a bit. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So there's the first of 10. Look at that. And I can't wait to get the other Secos as well. To get the rest in the post and order the last 3 I need. With the help of me selling my 00 gauge Thomas the Tank collection on eBay. To get these wagons. But anyway, let's get it going. It's going to be the smallest train that's been run on the layout, but you know, but it won't be for long. Oh wow, look at that. Right then folk, it's actually now the next day. Now it's not going to seem like that to you, it's just going to be seconds, but it is actually the next day. the review was first filmed yesterday on the 16th, and it's now the 17th. And if you're wondering why that is, it's actually because I have had a problem. Here comes the locomotive into shop with the wagon. Now you may be thinking, well, what problem have you had? Well, now this wagon kept derailing on the bends, and that was very weird, to be honest, because it derailed on every single bend. I tried loosening the screws to see if that would help. It didn't. And the problem was not actually with the wagon. It was actually the locomotive. Somebody had very kindly fitted one of those little chain couplings on at the back, and that actually didn't give the coupling on the back enough swing, because it was actually stuck in between the coupler. So I had to break off the little chain coupling, because, well, I thought it was going to be the wagon, but it was actually the little chain coupling on the back of the loco, because I did try another locomotive out on this, which was the rake Grey Class 56. And I can confirm that I have received another 3 today in the post. Ta-da! Look, I have received these 3 from Train Traders today, and these are weathered as well. Weathered. I'm still waiting for some more to arrive, and I am also in the process of ordering just 3 more that I need to complete the rake of 10. However, they actually call these the sea line, but they are technically still sea cows. They're still known as sea cows, and that's what they'll stay known as. It's just basically a different name, but it's exactly the same wagon. Just they've called it the sea line, but it's still technically a sea cow. Right, so we'll just drive the locomotive out of shot. Like that. And we'll get the railer, that's what it's called, and we will place it there. Nearly almost out of shot. So we'll get the pristine wagon and put that at the back. Right, so that's on. So we'll get the first sea cow, we'll move them out of the way. There we go. So we'll move the box to one side. Now there's the flap, which is at the end of the box. So that can... that derailed. Sorry, fail. But there we go. That's 2 down. Now here's the next one. Now the packaging, it's awkward to open. Well, that one was easy, but the other one, that was just awkward. Well, actually, this is still technically awkward. Actually. Okay, well that is the wrong end. So this packaging doesn't get a 10 out of 10, which it should, but it's not going to. In fact, this one doesn't even want to come out. So we've got to open both ends to actually push one of them out. give me a sec. Right, well I'm back. So I've got to get my fingers and push them in really tight. You see, this packaging could have had a 10 out of 10, but it's not going to. Simply because they are a pain in the backside to get open. Especially since this one is stuck. Right, finally, after 9 years, it's open. So I might as well shut the box lid on that. And again, get the packaging open. Another problem, it's the end, it's the actual clip on the end of the box. It's on the end of the box. Why they've done that is beyond me. Right, so get that one. And roll that into place. So that's 3 on. And now the last one. A bit of condensation on that then. Yeah, and this one's even more awkward because look, they've shoved card in the end. You have to fold it out like that and then reach into it. So, Hornby, this packaging is not going to get a 10 out of 10. You could have done better. And then get the awkward clip off. Take the wagon out. And you wouldn't believe the amount of rubbish there is. Right, so have a look at this weathered wagon. Just look at that. Just look at the weathering that's been applied. That makes it just look so much more accurate. Or realistic, should I say. Oh, there's a bit of a mark there. The inside is done really nice, and the chute. Oh, go down. We have an couplings still, and buffers that aren't sprung on this one, which is interesting because on that seat at the back, oh, bad focus, that one there did have sprung buffers. This one doesn't have, but maybe it's because they're stiff, but I don't know, but who cares though, really. But just look at the detailing on it. The turning wheels, the wire gates and handrails, and the floor as well. Even that's incredibly detailed. And some people might be asking, well, what about Batmans? Well, Batman do make Seikos, but they, as far as I know, don't come with NEM couplings and sprung buffers. Then again, though, this one doesn't seem to have it. But who's bothered though at the end of the day? Because it's not really much of a criticism. But anyway. So let's get this down on the railer and onto the tracks. Oh yeah, there we go. Move that out the road. And just look at that. 4 so far. Right, so we'll bring the locomotive back into shot. This is absolutely incredible. There we go. And I like the little jolt then on the wagons when the locomotive coupled up to it. That looks realistic. But anyway, now let's get her going. Oh, and by the way, when the others come, because out of the 10 Seikos, most of them are going to be weathered, so they'll be coupled up behind the loco. And again, like I said yesterday, you can get imitation ballast loads for them, but that might be something to look at in the future. But anyway, I like them as they are for now, so let's get her going. I like that little jolt again when she started. Now I know she's only so far got 4 wagons, but look at that. Just look how incredible that looks already. It's already starting to recreate the scene I saw when I was little, of 3001 when I was pulling those sea cows. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Even though it's taken 2 days to film, the Class 31 from Hornby in the Civil Engineers livery. Wow, just absolutely incredible. This is going to have to be the pride of the diesel fleet now. It has to be done. Especially now that she's going to be having her own wake of wagons to pull. Wow, just incredible. If you don't have one of these 31s, you've got to ask yourself why. Get one. Because you won't be disappointed.